Frost Central here again to talk about One Piece, in particular Ifrit Jambe, the newest power for Sanji in these recent One Piece chapters. And because of some confusion that seems to be surrounding the technique, my desire to express my theories on Sanji's right powers, and my desire to talk about my coach Sanji as this video is the #1 Sanji Goon on the entire planet, I decided to make a video on it, as well as Diable Jambe, or rather, Sanji's fire powers as a whole. This is a different video compared to the usual ones. I will be analyzing Diable Jambe and Ifrit Jambe, not from the narrative sense, but from a power scaling sort of sense. I will also be trying to explain the technique, what it does for Sanji, and my theories around the origin. Alright, let's get started. Diable Jambe is a technique that was first shown off in page 10, panel 8 of chapter 415 of the analysing arc in Sanji's fight with Jack, the third strongest CP. This technique was demonstrated around the same time as the other transformations of the Straw Hats, i.e. Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd for Luffy, and Ashura or Kyutori for Zoro. Sanji during the pre-time skip arcs initiates Diable Jambe via spinning on one leg in order to ignite a singular leg of flames. This technique was initially believed to be done solely through friction and the sheer speed Sanji is moving his legs at. However, there have been heavy indications that this is not the case, and solely igniting from friction a potential outside factor. This is due to him heating himself up and bursting into flames in Thriller arc and other arcs that follow due to sheer rage. However, that is for me to discuss later on in the third section. Diable Jambe also has implications during the post-time skip to be harming Sanji's body, but this isn't present during the post-time skip. In the post-time skip, we see Sanji be able to ignite himself with little or no spinning whatsoever, most notably when using the Hell's Memory techniques, where he is a literal walkie-talkie bonfire, as well as use of the Diable Jambes on both of his feet. Recently, in Wano, we see Sanji get his germ awakening after wearing his raid suit. This caused his latent genetic modifications to awaken and gave him even greater strength and speed, a very durable exoskeleton, small levels of regen, and the ability to turn as a result of this. Plus his arm and hotkey, he was finally able to unleash more of the destructive heat of his fire powers, allowing him to produce a stronger variant of Diable Jambe called Ifrit Jambe, which was first seen in his fight against Queen. Ifrit Jambe has higher temperature flames and appears to have lightning now infused with it. Now we'll discuss the exact things Diable Jambe and Ifrit Jambe do for Sanji. Sanji uses Diable Jambe's new heated up kicks to ignore the eventual durability of his opponents, cited initially when he first used it on Jabra, when it burned him down to his very bones and ignored his Tekai, despite it being the absolute strongest Tekai in CP9, with him even mastering it to the point he can move in it. Diable Jambe is also said to be amping up Sanji's combat speed, which is already among the highest in the Straw Hat group. Narratively, Diable Jambe is also implied to be on a similar tier to Gear 2nd and Ashura in terms of aims, due to all of these forms representing something that opposes the gods. The Will of D for Luffy, Ashura being called / referred to as anti-gods in Buddhist context for Zoro, and Diable Jambe being directly translated to the Devil's Leg for Sanji. It can even be relative to Gear 3rd, since during Whole Cake Island, Sanji is showing feats relative to Gear 3rd Luffy when using Diable Jambe. However, I tend to lean more towards it being relative to Gear 2nd rather than Gear 3rd, due to the way it's treated in post-time skip. In a similar vein to Gear 2nd, Sanji's use of Diable Jambe also results in his fighting style changing slightly, where he uses his normal black leg style, which is a sort of fusion between Taekwondo, Savant, and Capoeira. His style of Diable Jambe is much closer to Muay Thai with stronger direct kicks. Ifrit Jambe now also does everything Diable Jambe does normally for Sanji, but it's on a whole nother level, as well as apparently aiming the speed of his kicks to being so fast that it now basically causes what can be best described as hit stun in a fighting game against his opponent to continue comboing them with almost all of his strikes. Ifrit Jambe seems to be an overall upgrade to Sanji's current skill set, an immense upgrade at that, granting him an amazing amp that's beyond that of Diable Jambe and giving him a hit stun on all of his attacks. Now let's talk about exactly what Diable Jambe and Ifrit Jambe could be, aka the potential origin. origins of it. Sanji, since the introduction of Diable Jambe, has been consistently showing off his pyrokinetic capabilities within the story more and more, and in the One arc, his fire powers and their origins have been questioned even more and theorized upon by the fans. The most popular one, and the one I agree with the most, being the idea of Sanji being a descendant of the Lunarians. The theory is that Judge either infused his children with Lunarian DNA, or that Sora, Sanji's mother, is a descendant of the Lunarians, and because of the drugs she took, the Lunarian DNA only presented itself heavier within Sanji. Sanji, either way, is just partially a Lunarian. That's because of his fire powers, which is the basic premise of the theory. Since he's the only character in the series, besides Mao, that can ignite without some outside forces, like friction or a devil fruit like King can, doing it out of sheer emotion. The only issue is that Sanji doesn't do to the same extent King can, nor does he possess other Lunarian traits. With King producing large fire blasts and large fire dragons like he does in Sword Zoro in 1035. However, if he's partially a Lunarian, that could just be a similar case of Superboy and Justice, where his power is dampened due to him. His power and his physical traits are dampened due to him being mostly human, which can be why Sanji can feel pain from Diable Jambe and doesn't use his fire powers to the same extent that King does, as well as why his fire doesn't do the same thing that Lunarian fire does, where it can amp your physical durability while lowering your speed when it's active. And Sanji just gets the benefit of getting increased AP and durability and increased speed when his is active. There's also a check out the gun factor to this, where Queen mentions that Sanji using his fire could be a Lunarian thing, and while Queen was definitely fucking with Sanji about the German stuff, since he had actually all of their powers, he did seem genuine about this question, and he knows nothing about the Lunarians, and I doubt that Oda would drop a bomb like this and never bring it up again in the story. One of my friends who I talked to Oda with a lot was mentioning how it would be cool for Sanji to get Black Flames at this point, and I agree that it would be really, really cool, and I think that some type of Lunarian awakening could result in the Black Flames. I don't have any real reason, though I just think it'd be cool to see. Thank you all for watching the video. I've always wanted to talk about One Piece on this channel since I watched it, but I've always sort of felt like attempting to do a proper narrative analysis the way I want to on the channel for One Piece would just take up too much time and be way too chaotic for me to do due to the length of the series and how arcs just kind of fold in on each other sometimes. Like, for example, the events of post-Senna's lobby arc with Ace fighting Blackbeard folding into Impel Down and Marineford. Anyways. So, making this little quick vid on Sanji's fire powers and shit was very fun and somewhat cathartic for me. Especially since Sanji is my favorite One Piece character. If you want me to do a video like this for Zoro's Ashura, Luffy's Gears, or Kid and Law's Awakenings, or on a specific category like Hybrid Zone Transformations, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Anyways, that's all for now, guys. You know the drill. Catch you later. Frost out. Peace. Hope you guys have a happy holiday.